So obviously Black Series, so it's a lot more grip than a normal car. You know, it's got that wider track, adjustable suspension. It's also got more power than a normal C63. And it's really phenomenal, you know, in corners and the performance-wise. So what we're going to do is we're going to be out for, I don't know, 35, 40 minutes in this, and then we'll go in for the SLS and do like the last 20 in this, because we don't take the SLS on the wet surfaces.
Yeah.
So we'll have about 15 minutes in the SLS, you know, around North Track. So we'll cover everything else in this. So what we'll do is we'll start out on the small circuit at the far end of the area, just cruise around nice and slowly, you know, get used to the car, get used to the steering position, you know, the hands and the thumbs in the grooves. It's a bit of a different way of driving, obviously, because when we're on the road it's kind of more laid back. Remember, there's a sort of line you want to take through the corners when you're on circuit, which I'll point out to you, but we're going to start off on the small track anyway and just cruise around and get used to everything. We'll also go from comfort, sport, sport plus. Sport plus makes a big difference, you know, heightens the rev range, makes the throttle loads more responsive, but also under braking, you hear it go rum rum, you know, blip on the downshifts, because that engine braking, so you're relying on the engine brake as well as the gearbox. So we'll go around the south circuit and just sort of get a feel for the car, and then we'll head on to the bigger circuit. That's when we can sort of bring the speed up a bit, you know. I'll give you a running commentary the whole time, where you want to be, when you want to be braking, releasing the brakes, turning in on the power, all those kind of things, and we'll just have some fun, you know. Always try and keep it as smooth as possible. Remember that we need to always drive within yourself, because of the there's not any room for error. But smooth driving is key anyway, and just, you know, just work together. You know, and I'm going to try and get the most out of you, so then you can really start to get the most out of the car and see what it's capable of as well. And yeah, then we're going to do some 0 to 60 tests. We'll look at launch control as well, and then a bit of braking on the ice, and then some drifting. See how the car control is.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Yeah,
so just
good.
do a pedal check for me just once more. So just go from brake to the accelerator. So you're happy with that pedal position? It looks pretty good.
Right, yeah.
Excellent. All right then. So if you put your foot on the brake, into drive. Excellent. Got to have the hazard lights on as we head out of here. Yeah, no handbrake on. Cool, and let's head out just nice and slowly. So you can pose for a photo if you want, and just put your window down. I think there are a few better looking cars on the road than this. I think this is just stunning. So we're going to go left just here. Left just here. And then you want your thumbs in the grooves on the steering wheel, like so. Stay nice and tight through here, just sort of cruise, just get a feel for it, and aim for the orange cone, and that's obviously where you want to have the car positioned. So off everything, let the car roll, turn in, get a little bit of power towards the next cone, and then off everything. Just one smooth steering input. Good, stay tight. Good. Look at that. Really, really solid. You can already feel how stiff it is.
Yeah.
A little bit of power on the exit. Car roll the speed through here, look nice and far ahead, touch of brakes for this corner, good, and stay nice and tight, excellent, heading towards the next cone, off everything, chicanes it is, straightest line through, so I'm going to put you in Sport Plus now, okay, so you're going to have a bit more response from that power, off everything, turn in, blend in the power from the midpoint through the exit, good, and then off everything again, just let the car roll. The reason I'm getting you to roll this speed through the corner is so you can get a good, you know, feel for the balance of the car.
Yeah.
Obviously on the big circuit we'll be using the brakes far more, but how are you feeling?
God, it is so stiff.
It really is, isn't it? You hear that burble on the overrun as well. Excellent. And that's the real appeal to Sports Plus, because it uses the engine braking as well. Wicked, so let's come off this lap and we'll head on to the bigger circuit. So we'll go left just here. access road. Yeah, there's nothing coming, so you can go straight out. Nice and slowly down here. Look at this, you've got the whole of Mercedes-Benz watching yourself. So we're going to go right just after the glass shelter. I don't think there's anything else out, but just check before we head left, just to make sure there's nothing coming. Yeah, you're free to go. Excellent, so you want to stay nice and tight to the blue and white cone through here. Good, then hug the inside white line all the way through the left, and look nice and far ahead to the orange cone. And that's where you want to be positioned. Good, and then brake here, release the brake, stay tight. Now feed in the power all the way up to the orange cone, and then from this one to the next, just keep building up the power. It's like you would onto a motorway. All the way to the left. Good, see the brake board. Brake now, and release the brakes. Good, turn in. A little bit of power to the white line now. And then off everything, carry this momentum through, so don't worry about braking, and wait for it now, a bit of power, a little bit more, good, then off everything, roll the speed through, stay as tight as you can, now build up the power, but stay left, because then that's going to position yourself better for the right, a bit of power now to the dotted line, good, brake, release, turn in, stay tight, good, see there you just got on the power a little too early, see how it lost a bit of the front end, a bit more power then, good, brake. Stay tight, be patient, feed in the power now to the orange cone, keep building up through here, a bit more power, a bit more, all that's that full power, just keep it going, brake hard, now release the brakes, good, turn in, a little bit of power now to the white line, off everything, carry the momentum in, use more steering and wait for it, no, wait for it now, power, so you've got to be really patient on the power, you know, so off everything, turn, and build up the power on the exit, go on a bit more. Roll the speed through, back on the power, all the way to the dotted line, more power, brake, release, turn in, stay tight, good, now tight through the left, now feed in the power, so go on, a bit more power, go on, more power, then more, good, brake, release the brakes, stay tight, now feed in the power nice and gently, all the way here, gently, keep building up, more power, full power now, good, keep it going, stay left, brake, release the brakes, turn in, a little bit of power now to the white line, now off everything, don't touch the accelerator, just wait for the front to grip, wait for it, now a bit of power, not too much, just build it up, and then off everything, same again out of here, just build it up, so a bit more power, a bit more, much better, roll the speed through, turn in now, back on the power, use all this area, there's no one about, now brake, release, stay tight, be patient, now feed in the power through the left, build it up, more power, go on, more power, more, brake hard, release the brake, be patient on the throttle, good, turn, now feed it in all the way up to the cone, build it up nice and gently, stay tight, full power, all the way out to the left, keep it going, stay left, keep it going, brake hard, harder, release the brakes, turn in, a little bit of power to the white line, a bit more, off everything, now carry the momentum in, and wait for the front to grip, wait for it, now a little bit of power, much better, a bit more, off everything, get it turned, now back on the power, excellent, off everything, turn it now, back on the power, they come all the way out here, careful with the power, so remember to feed it in a bit more gently, so you miss that corner every time, so just turn in a bit earlier,
that one, no,
be stricter with yourself with the first blue and white cone, brake, release the brakes, stay tight, feed in the power just nice and gently, all the way out here, keep building up, stay tight, all the way to full power, good, keep it going, brake, release the brake, turn in, stay tight, a little bit of power to the white line, off everything, and wait for it, so turn, wait for the front end, now a bit of power, see how it rotates, so you accelerate out, good, so off everything, so you can get turned, now feed in the power, but stay left, good, now turn in, back on the power, feed it in, much better, brake, turn in now, so stay really tight to this cone, now tight to the left, a bit better, so a bit more power, go on, a bit more, feed it in, brake hard, release the brake, stay tight, patient, now feed it in all the way out here, nice and gently, keep building, more power, a bit more, all the way to full power, stay tight to the left, brake, release the brakes, turn in, a little bit of power to the white line, a bit more, and then off everything, carry the momentum in and wait for the front, wait for it, now back on the power, more power, more, good, off everything, much better, stay tight, now feed it in, through the left, feed in the power, go and build it up. So as you unwind the lock now, feed it in more power. Good, and brake hard. Release the brake, stay tight, be patient. Now feed it in all the way up here. Keep building up from this curve to next, more power. All the way to full power. Lovely. It's really coming together. Brake. Release. Turn in. Set a little bit of power now to the white line. Off everything. Wait for the front. Wait for it, wait for it. Now a bit of power. A bit more power. Fix it off everything. Turn in. Good, a bit of power. Do one more. Stay tight through here. Back on the power. More power. Brake. Release. Turn in. Stay tight. Clutch pedal line. Tight through the left. Now start feeding it into more power. Come on, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. Full power. Brake hard. Release. Be patient. Now feed it in all the way up to the curb. Nice and gently. Keep building. A bit more. A bit more. Full power. Brake hard. Release the brakes. Turn in. Stay tight. Bit of power now to the white line. Off everything. Carry this momentum in. Steer more. Wait for it. Now a little bit of power. Off everything. Stay tight. Now feed the power in. Good. We're going to come off this lap. Mate, really came together.
Yeah,
You see
getting
the
feel
massive
of it,
improvement
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
You know, you're giving the car, you're driving the car with the throttle as much as the steering. Do you know what I mean? Because yes, the steering alters the balance of the car, but the throttle has so much to do with it. Like to begin with, you were just giving it too much power, and the whole car was like you're inducing the understeer. But if you just fire loads of speed in, wait for the car to get through the apex, and then start getting back on the power, you see how it's promoting grip, and you're just getting quicker and quicker and quicker. What do you think of the car?
Awesome.
It's wicked, huh?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's the crazier version of the C63 this, you know, so you've got a massive amount, over 500 brake going to the rear wheels. Like that long corner, you know, the one where you've, you know, at the end of the straight you've got the fast right and then that long one.
Yeah.
That's a really technical corner. And you see how we're running loads of speed in, turning and waiting for the front to grip, then it rotates and then you pout out.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it into that corner. That's working with the limits of grip, you know? Because it's when you start to get a little bit of understeer, you're like, okay, well that's how much grip I've got at the front end, you know? So, excellent, mate, really good.
Right, brilliant.
So go left just here. That's it. And then we're going to go right through the cones, and then it's that right-hand bay just over there. You know, it says number 2 on the floor.
Right.
Good. Just get it nice and straight. Excellent. Good. Just pop it to park for me for a second. So here, you know, it's a more aggressive version. It's got better brakes and all that kind of thing, but it's got that same fantastic stability control and traction control system. So let's try it and let's challenge it. So when I say, when I say go, I want you to go full power straight away, and it's going to challenge the traction control system because it's going to have to put the power through to the rear wheels without spinning it up, obviously. Stay at full power all the way down here until I say brake, and when I say brake, I want you to hit the brakes as hard as you can until we come to a complete stop, okay? So show me right now how hard you'd hit the brakes in an emergency.
So run the accelerator.
That's it. So yeah, I want you to just like slam as hard as you can, you know, there, straight through the floor. And what car are you driving at the moment?
C350.
Yeah, well, is it a newish one? Is it
12,
yeah, 12. Well, you have exactly the same ESP system and the same ABS program. And if somebody jumps out in front of you, or if you really need to stop an emergency, bang, that's how hard you should be hitting the brakes. You should be absolutely monstering the brake pedal until you come to a complete stop. And you're not going to lock up or anything like that. So we're going to sort of try that now. So basically, when I say go, go absolutely full power. Keep it going down here at full power until I say brake. And I want you to hit the brakes as hard as you can until we come to a complete stop. All right?
Yep.
And how does that pedal position feel? Just go between them. That looks good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, right.
Good. And we just stay dead straight in our lane. All right, so foot on the brake, into drive, both hands on the wheel. 3, 2, 1, full power. Excellent, just stay full power. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Brake. Hard, 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 hard. Stops quick, huh? Yeah. And you can feel it like really, really grinding to a halt. Hazard lights come on, our seat belts hold us in tighter as well. Brake lights are strobing. But how under control did it feel?
Yeah, it's great, yeah.
Didn't feel like it was going to lose control.
Not going to go anywhere.
Wicked. Should you try that again?
Yeah.
Let's just come off at the end. So let's come out nice and slowly down here. Just let the car sort of, the brakes cool down and everything. You go up to sort of 20 or something, 25. Wicked. So you got a. Did you have a baby last time?
Yeah, it was. It must have been only 9 months or so.
How are you getting on?
Brilliant.
It's cool, yeah.
Always awesome.
A few of my friends are having babies at the moment. It's quite novel. Left through here. Don't think I'm ready just yet. And back into play number 2 again.
Yeah, it's the best thing. Yes.
Alright then. So now we're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to challenge the stability system under braking. So when I say brake, I want you to hit the brakes just as hard, if not harder, but as soon as you hit the brakes, take your hands off the steering wheel.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
Let's go, full power. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Brake, hands off the wheel. Look at that. Maybe comes a tiny bit over to the right.
Not over there,
exactly, but it's completely under control. And obviously you never want to take your hands off the wheel and heavy braking, but isn't it cool to see what's going on in the background?
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, again, you don't want to do it in your own car, but I'd be happy to do that in your car, and it would do exactly the same thing. So, you know, don't ever be worried that if you've got to hit the brakes hard, have confidence that balance will remain in the car, you know, which is because you've got exactly the same system. That's why it's so great, especially as you've got a modern Mercedes. It's the same ESP system throughout the entire range, from the little A class all the way up to the SS Black Series. So it's wicked. So good. Let's come off here, but we can go faster down here. We can use launch control. So let's use that. Have you ever heard of launch control before?
Yeah.
Race start. If you watch Top Gear, and you've definitely seen it. But, cool. Obviously, you're gonna chill in the hotel, have some dinner there and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, we're not having dinner in the hotel. We're gonna go into the town.
Nice. Yeah.
Something to eat. There's a nice little pub that we found last time we were here.
Ah, sweet.
So we did
Which one? Hand and Spear.
That's the one.
Yeah. That's nice. Excellent. And then into bay number 2. Good. Just hold it here. Excellent. So launch control was designed in Formula 1 actually to give you the best race start. But basically, at the moment when I say go and you go full power, it's responsive, but there's a tiny bit of a delay, isn't there? It's because it's got to compute all that power and sort of work it out and then put it through to the rear wheels without madly spinning it up. But now this gives us a chance to sort of preload the engine revs, so we can build them up before just kind of initiating it all at once to give us a better start. Plus, it's going to deliver the power more aggressively and shift the gears a bit more aggressively and quicker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold down the brakes for you, okay? But when I say full power, just go absolutely flat out, full power, and then it'll hold you. It'll just go bop, 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 makes a great noise, and it'll go when I come off the brakes, and it's going to try and give you the best race start. It will spin the wheels up a little bit because it's really aggressive, but it's really cool. And then keep going dead straight down here. But when I say brake, you're then going to hit the brakes, but keep both hands on the wheel this time.
So how would you do that if you wasn't a...
I'm going to show you that next time.
Right,
We're going to do this twice. So then, it says race start, confirm with paddle up. So just the right hand paddle. Good, both hands on the steering wheel. Now just go full power. Good, let's see, it's hold here, so now I'm going to come off the brakes and then just stay full power. Look at that, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Brake. How much more aggressive is that?
That's crazy.
And can you feel even the gear shift is more urgent, like everything is just like tighter. And just you know, it cuts the 0 to 60 time by like 20%. You know, it's really, really good, especially on a dry day like today. It works really well. But yeah, let's go around and try again. But this time you're going to be on both pedals.
That's crazy. We'll get 9, nearly 80.
85.
Yeah.
85. Yeah. So it's 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds. So it's pretty rapid. Pretty sure I can do it a little bit quicker than that on a good day as well. So. Book times are actually sometimes not 100% accurate. They're quite conservative sometimes.
Yeah.
But, Mercedes AMG they definitely are as well. You might get other car companies maybe a bit over the top and, you know, and say it does it in 3.5 when it's actually 4. But find with the AMGs, it says 4.5 when it's actually 4. Good. So then if you move your left foot onto the brake. Good. Now then, when we set it up and everything, you've got to have a reasonable amount of pressure on the brake. And then when I say go full power, you go full power while still holding it on the brake. And you hear it, you heard it when it goes pop, 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 pop. And then make sure when you're ready, just it's going pop, 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 so you're already full power, just come off the brakes. But don't bleed off of it like a clutch, you know, because you'll still be holding onto the brakes. So just jump off of the brakes, and then it'll all engage at once and give you that race start. So if we just move it to RS, there we go, so paddle up, both hands on the wheel. Now go full power, and come off the brakes. There you go. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Brake. Excellent.
I was so tempted to jump my left foot on the brake.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I was covering here, because sometimes it does. Sometimes it does confuse you a little
split
bit.
second. It's like, no, that one.
Yeah, that's serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Such a good system.
Really good.
And the race start is actually on every AMG in the modern range except for the SLK. So it's, and I tell you what, it's even more. Well, it's about the same speed as this off the line. It's the A45.
Really, is it?
It's 4-wheel drive,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah,
rapid off the line. But yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? So good. So we're gonna come off just here, and then we're gonna go left, and we're gonna do a bit of sliding around the circle. Excellent. So you're looking to go in the middle of the two white lines. TC, can we get water on the circle, please? Good, just nice and slowly around to the right. Now just give it a blip. Full left, full left, full left, full left. See what I mean about not being not being much steering lock. And C63, you would have saved that.
Yeah.
But because you would have more steering lock.
Stopped halfway.
Exactly, yeah. So this does feel like it's got half the steering lock when it hasn't actually. It's probably got 3/4, but it's just because it's stiffer as well. So the blip again. Flip, 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 flip off power. Now a little bit of power. That's drifting. Good. Excellent. Nice. Right. Sweet. That's sweet. Keep it going. Off the power now. Just let it slide away. Now power. Good. Off the power. Now power again. More power. Good. You just keep it going. Hey, this is really good. Dark horse. That's good stuff. There we go. What a nice balanced car as well, huh? Just keep it going. Keep it going. We'll do a nice one more circle. Nice and small. Oh yeah, no return. You know, and you want to drift to sort of 90%, so you've still got a little bit of steering still in your mate. No problem. So you've still got a little bit of steering in reserve, because you were like at 100%. You then didn't have any in reserve. And also, see this inside white line.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the vanishing point of that inside white line, and that's where you want to keep your eyes focused as well. So keep going around to the back. Go for it. Excellent, nice. Off. Now power. More power. Power, more. Now off. Wait for it. Now power. Good.
Just waiting for the car to stop me.
Power. Power. Good. Power. Good.
Flat.
Tiny bit too much. Round to the right. Nice 360 look. Sweet. So, go for it. I'm not going to say anything. So remember, it's multitasking, so you've got to work with your foot as well. So more power. And you've got to keep those wheels spinning so then they don't grip up. More power then, more power. Keep that rear end down. Good, now off. Now off. Wait for it. Now power. Good. More power. Good. You're going to have to fluctuate. Is there more power? A bit more. More power. More power. Good. Lovely. Sweet. More power. More. Good. Mate, you did well to just slip into it this quickly.
It's actually my worst way.
It's really good. Is it? You better the other way?
Yeah.
Okay, well let's do a lap the other way.
So just turn around.
Yeah, just turn around. See what I mean about the steering wheel? It's great on the circuit, obviously, that. Go for it. This way is weird when you've been doing one way. Go a bit slower now, blip. Wait for it, now a bit of power. Yeah, just keep it more closer over here. More power, more power. More power. Power. Keep it over here. More power. More power. More power. Almost. Wait. Now power. Good. Sweet. Power. More. Good. Excellent. And now a nice exit as we go here. So keep it going, and just getting straight off the power. Sweet, mate. Stylish. That's what we like. And then we're going to go right just here. That was really good stuff. And then we're going to go right just here. And then we're going to go straight up here. Hey, well done. That was solid driving, mate. You enjoy that?
Yeah.
Did Black Series live up to expectations, yeah?
It did.
Fantastic.
I just can't wait for this thing now.
Yeah, you're going to love the SLS as well. And we're going to go right here. The SLS is a lot lighter, obviously. It's one of the lightest chassis of any sort of supercar. And that's what it is, you know, it's a supercar, it's not a sports car, so it's even more over the top. But it's also, the balance of it's great, because the engine is literally like here in the SLS, and the gearbox is in the back, so it's very neutral. If we just drive to the end, we'll just reverse parking on that.
Going in that one.
No, we'll put it next to the SLS. If you can, put it in between the... I'll tell you what, just put it next to the SLS. That's fine. Reverse it in if you can. Excellent, good job.